Three. I'm Tom Vassell.
I'm Z Garcia.
I'm Mike DeLisio.
Welcome to the final day of the Summer Spectacular. We have news right now. We have games we're playing, and then a game show at 3 o'clock. So lots of things coming. Today, we'll be playing Lightning Train. We'll be playing... Actually, I need to schedule.
Battle Monsters.
Battle
Monsters
and Calypso.
Calypso.
That's right.
So stay tuned for all that. Now, the news today is going to be a bit sparse because Mike could not find as much stuff because we talked about it.
We had all the big news yesterday with our mega announcements, part of the Dice Tower Summer Spectacular.
2 days ago, but yes.
2 days ago, this mega announcement was. It was so big that it still felt like yesterday to me.
Yeah.
It spilled over into yesterday.
What is time?
But either way, let's just jump right into the news, sponsored by Allplay. Here we go. Asmo has rebranded themselves again. They rebranded themselves, I want to say, 6-7 years ago. It was when they first were... Remember they showed those new logos and it was the rainbow logo? They did some
when they were kind of buying everybody up, they sort of
what it
rebranded
was,
around that time. Because Asmo used to just be another company.
Yeah.
They had their own
weird
logo.
Little red logo.
Yeah,
right?
they had their own little scaly logo. I mean, Asmo is a demon. That's what it is. So they had this, kind of little symbol. And then they rebranded, made it friendlier, and now they've doubled down on that. Where this new logo is basically toothless. It's like all lowercase, so that it's as welcoming as possible.
Yeah,
the inspired by players thing, and it's an interesting write up because it's a concept that they're pushing for here because it's like, oh, we want to be a loved brand, we want to be recognized by the players, we want to target the people we're selling to as a brand.
Here's what I got out of that, just briefly, is that they knew that they were getting a reputation of being a conglomerate rather than a publisher. We're buying all these other companies, but they're wanting to say, hey, no, we're a publisher. We love games. We're not just some faceless corporation. Will that translate? I don't know. I'm not sure.
Well, what they're saying is it's no longer business to business, but a consumer focus. And their statement is, at Asmo, we've made it our mission to create meaningful shared experiences through our games to celebrate all players. During our 30-year journey in the tabletop game industry, our brand hasn't always been visible to players themselves.
Yeah.
With this brand evolution, we aim to change that, making Asmo a name that's recognized, trusted, loved, and sought out by players around the world. I will say from our end of things, we deal with lots of different companies.
Yeah.
Asmo is a big corporate company, and we've dealt with a lot of people there, and they're pretty good people.
We've had
really good experiences with everybody at Asmo.
I agree, 100%. This is an interesting move more because I guess they themselves felt that they weren't reaching the players, for lack of a better term here. So it's curious to me that they're looking for that fulfillment.
Because it's like some of the companies under their umbrella, like think of Days of Wonder, right?
Right.
Days of Wonder is kind of like that they've built this brand trust. Like if you get a Days of Wonder game, you have certain expectations. And I think they want that for Asmo.
That must be it.
Yeah,
that must be it.
All right, let's just talk about a pile of games. Here we go.
Pile of games.
The Four Doors. This is from Happy Camper. This is a cooperative game. Matt Leacock, Matt Riddle, and Ben Pinchback.
It's a pretty solid.
The possibility of a trio of Matts designing it.
You would think if it's 4 doors, it should have been 4 designers, but otherwise, opportunity missed there. But look, some pretty powerhouse designers. What looks like a pretty welcoming game to me.
Yeah, this kind of to me seems a little bit like a Pandemic the card game is sort of what that feels like.
So the
in
publisher
some ways,
explained it to me a little bit.
Okay.
He was excited about this one, obviously. Their first game was that Fruit one, which is the remake of... Trio was their first game.
Trio, they republished Trio, and then...
Surface Ars Rex, they published as the Fruit.
That's right, I forget what it's called.
Yeah, which, by the way...
Combo or something?
I just played that last week with some people who had never played the other one, and I thought the new theme worked okay. I was very dubious of that Fruit theme.
Yeah.
But... the publisher, Happy Camper, he is originally from Game Right.
Yes.
Okay.
So this feels like another Game Right in the making. You can even, if you looked at that and squint a bit, you could see almost Forbidden Island a bit.
That's what I was getting ready to say.
Thinking.
Yeah.
Well, here's what's funny. Many years ago, this is going to sound a little name droppy, but many years ago, at the gathering of friends, Matt Leacock showed me what was then a Pandemic the card game prototype. This was so long ago, I don't remember what it looked like, okay? And it was very early. I wonder if that became this.
Could
Yeah,
be.
maybe.
Could be.
You know, which is obviously not Pandemic themed and it's its own thing, but I wonder if the seeds for this game were there. And I helped shape it. I'm just kidding. I'm excited for this. This looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
Jungo, this is also from Happy Camper. It definitely looks like a sequel to Trio.
It really does, yeah.
There's a look they're developing here, right? I mean, and it's
smart.
gonna do well in big box stores.
Yep.
This one, though, you want to get rid of your cards from your hand. There's 64 cards, 8 of 1 to 8 in them. And you can't rearrange the cards in your hand. That's like Bonanza and things like that.
Scout, it's shedding, yeah.
So you have to play cards that have a higher value or a larger set of cards. So it's like this feels like a my first card shedding game.
My first shedding game, yeah.
Yeah, a little bit with the cool, like, you know, you can play, you can rearrange, and I think you have to play from the edges, if I'm not mistaken.
Do they do that with this one?
I thought so,
That
maybe.
You have to play. Well, I know you can only play multiple cards if they're adjacent to another.
Maybe that's
so you
all
might be
it
able to
is,
pull
yeah.
one and they condense.
Yeah, maybe that's all it is. And then instead of the hot new thing now is a card that you can flip and it's a number on the other side. Some of them just happen to have two values.
Like on the bottom there.
Yeah, like 2, 1, 2, or 3 or 4, what have you.
Yeah.
Looks super cute. Looks
It
very
does.
approachable.
I'd make the call now. I think Happy Camper is a company to watch.
Yeah.
I think that they're positioning themselves well.
Yeah. All right. Movie Tricks by Chili Fox. This is a trick-taking game. It says gameplay is similar to a game called Honshu, which it's been a long time since I played Honshu.
Yeah, that's a pretty old trick-taking game.
You play cards, then you draft cards from the market based on the cards that you played, which is how Honshu was. You were playing cards and taking them. There was 2 games, Honshu and another one. They were very, very similar. I don't remember what
You
the
don't
other
mean
one was called.
Tichu, do you?
No. It was a trick-taking game where you played it, and then you were building a grid of cards based on the number you played. I forget all the rules to it.
Yeah.
I thought it was fine.
Yeah.
Anyway, you're making your movie here. You get CGI, props, rolls, and soundtrack. We don't care about directors or music.
No. I'm assuming those are
the
suits.
soundtrack, sorry.
Those are suits. yeah.
Chili Fox, they've done some interesting things. So.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So does it say when it's coming out? Nope. Soon. Coming to a theater near you.
Ah.
See, how do you pronounce that?
I'm assuming Allehees.
That's why I would not disagree with you. Allehees? Sure.
That's a
I
nice
don't know
little
what
cover.
Allehees means, but
Well, it's another trick-taking game, and you got to get rid of your hand first, which again is not necessarily trick-taking.
It's shedding, yeah.
But you need to play. So you play a card, and someone has to. You have to beat the highest play currently on a table, but you need to play the same number of cards of the same color, or a higher number with a higher number, or the same number of cards of the next higher color value. So blue is the lowest color all the way up to orange, but then blue also beats orange. I
There's
think
different hierarchies.
Yeah, right. The funny thing is, the one thing that really jumps out at me from this one is this is ready to be reprinted by Happy Camper, like right now.
1,000%.
I was going to say,
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's all they got to do is put your logo on it. It's
Yep.
good to go.
Yep.
Yeah, it sounds like if Mike plays a red 5, I can beat him with either a red 7
Or any.
or 2. Oh, well, red's not in the game. An orange 5, but I could beat you with 2 blue cards. Doesn't really matter the value. It might be less than yours.
Exactly. It just
Think
because
that's how it
there's a
works.
color hierarchy and a number hierarchy. Yeah, I've played several games like that.
Yeah.
Sure.
Woodlanders. Or Lee or Ons.
Woodlanders.
Which way are you reading that? All right, this is. Oh my word! You're never gonna guess what kind of game this is. It's a trick-taking game. Mike, is there no other news?
I put in there. Here's some trick taking games. Look,
Now, Daniel Newman.
I know that you are excited and say there's a trick-taking renaissance,
there has been.
but aren't you a little weary at this point?
I'm
I'm a little weary.
The Dark Ages are coming.
Here's the thing. I understand people that aren't into trick-taking games being sick of them right now because they're everywhere. It's just like I was getting with Roll and Write because I'm not the hugest Roll and Write fan. It was like, all right,
into them, you're not going to play all these trick-taking
Of course you're
games.
not. You're not. But you're gonna listen to the buzz and find out which ones really are something unique and special. And for the real trick-taking kind of
connoisseurs,
professionals,
say it.
They're not necessarily going to be interested in another basic shedding game, right?
No.
But they might be interested in some of the more esoteric ones. And so Daniel Newman, I think you were getting ready to say, kind of has his own publishing house.
Did you call him Danny Newman?
No, I said Daniel Newman.
It definitely sounded like you said Danny Newman.
I
like
would
you
not presume to call him Danny. I don't even know if he likes to be
Mr.
called Danny.
Newman.
Anyway,
Okay.
he has his own little publishing house, New Mill. I shouldn't say little. His own publishing house.
Oh, New Mill.
Yeah.
Okay. I played one of them, and I reviewed one of them. The one with the fishing theme, something like that.
Okay.
You would I forget what the theme was. You would discard a card and introduce into the game a higher number.
Okay.
I forget what it's called. It was okay.
I've played several of Daniel Newman's games before.
Danny. I call him Danny.
I don't even think he goes by
All
Danny.
right, well, let's switch to something that's not trick-taking.
Okay.
Let's go
Poke the
back to
bear.
WizKids running the Star Trek IP into the ground.
What do you mean, Tribble? Tribbles!
Tribble Match.
Tribble Match.
What's
Tribble
better than
Match.
Tribbles? Memory Match.
Wait, is that what this is?
It has to be.
Yes.
This is Memory Match, but with Tribbles?
There's a Tribble variant, I guess, where there's
Yeah, the
some
multi-Tribble
tribbles on the
verse.
left of the tiles, but I'm sorry, WizKids. I'm losing a little respect for you on this one. This is not your brand.
It's also
Star Trek is their brand.
It's
Yeah,
also
maybe that's what it is.
It is,
right? But
yeah. It has become that, but it's a super kids game. This is for children. They don't know what tribbles are. They don't
Kids
care
don't
about
care about
Captain
Star
Kirk
Trek.
or Mr. Spock. They don't know. They don't care.
I think this is for adults, though.
Really?
That are stupid. I mean, no offense.
I think you're going to be seeing Eric Summer soon. I can see him, doing a pile driver on you after that because
he is very, very flexible and
Star
strong.
Trek. He's live.
Adam's right.
Live.
This follows their last Star Trek game, which is Captain Chair.
Yeah, very not
Which is
a
very
kid's game.
involved,
Right.
robust game, and then they're like, okay, calm down, everybody.
Yeah,
What's the
yeah.
other end of the spectrum? All righty. Hey, these 365 adventures, which I shamefully have in my desk at home. I noticed because we just
Shameful.
moved, and I'm like,
Shameful.
oh yeah, I never started these.
But they're for 2026, or you have the old ones?
I have the last one. There's a fantasy.
Oh,
This
you have
is a new one.
2025s? You can catch up.
I don't
I'm
know if
assuming it's like a one-a-day
I
thing,
think
right?
It
so.
is,
I haven't
yes.
even opened the box.
Wow.
I was like, we're going to do this. Then I forgot because we moved.
One a day is pretty demanding, I'll say. I like to do the advent calendar once. But that's a
Sure.
month. I can do that,
Sure.
and I still mess them up.
I say, we don't even do that. We're doing 3 today.
Yeah.
I think they say that it's like 5 minutes for each one. So even if you miss a week, you're talking
can
about
kinda catch
35
up.
minutes or something.
Yeah. Cool.
Anyway, this is a unique experience. And this one's Cthulhu themed, so I think people are going to be more involved with that. That guy in the middle
Yes.
doesn't actually look very Cthulhu.
He looks like a
doesn't.
Scooby-Doo villain for sure.
I'd have got away with it if it wasn't for you meddling kids. I do like Senor
They all look like
Fish.
Scooby-Doo villains.
Yeah. Mr. Fish over there is pretty legit.
I like that. This one I want to play.
All right, there and back again. This is a
Get
new
ready for
Hobbit
some
game.
Knizia, folks.
This is actually a bigger piece of news. This is
Yes.
from Office Dog, and their
Yep.
games are kind of really hitting on point these days.
And this is a new design. It's not an iteration of anything else.
Happily,
Okay.
even though this game is called The Hobbit, There and Back Again,
Mm-hmm.
at least we can say There and Back Again, because I've been getting confused lately with all these Lord of the Rings games, because it's like Lord of the Rings deck
Wow.
building. It's like put Lord of the Rings and then tell me what kind of game it is.
Yeah.
That
Trick
ran out a
taking.
while ago, though. The Lord of the Rings deck building game, the Lord of the Rings, the dice game. Like we have exhausted that, haven't we?
I think so. And then you have
think
the
there's like one of
Journeys
those-
to Middle Earth. And
Yeah.
there's still, yeah.
But in this game, it's a competitive adventure game. You're drafting dice, so it's essentially a roll and write
Right.
of sorts.
Yeah.
You said this is Knizia, Mike?
It is, yeah.
This is not based on anything as
Not
far as you
based
can
on
tell.
anything. And actually, he's done several, like, of
is
course, you have
that?
the original Lord of the Rings cooperative game. Then
Why
he
does the
did.
headline here say Knizia continues to amaze in my show notes?
I
here?
have no idea. Like, I just report the news. I don't write it. Well, because we're gonna have about 17 Knizia games in a row here.
Oh boy.
But yeah, no, this one I guess is kind of based, obviously on the Hobbit. And he had those like other cooperative Hobbit games too that were done that were completely. Those were also dice games, but this looks like a smaller scale.
You play in turn order, starting with the shortest player.
I love it.
That makes sense.
Unfair.
Finally, something for me.
The original rule was the hairiest footed player, but that didn't.
Joey?
I have a problem. I have a problem with the theming of this game. Someone mentioned in the comments because this is very similar to an old Cosmos 2-player game called Race for the Ring or something, where you were competing with another Hobbit to be the first to throw a ring into Mordor,
Which made sense,
right?
like in the book.
And the same thing here.
Yeah.
I'll be the first Hobbit to go on this
I'm the
journey.
best Frodo.
Yeah, I'm gonna trip Frodo on the way into Mordor.
Anyway, whatever. All right. Oh, wow. Another Knizia game.
There's a lot of them coming.
Mr.
Makatsu.
Makatsu.
Meister Makatsu. This is part of some program that I didn't even know that Amigo did every year.
What's that?
It says it in the news.
Okay, so I'm sorry. Okay, so it's available for sale exclusively at Amigo Frund retail outlets. Did you even know Amigo Frund retail outlets existed?
I had never heard of this. So apparently it's some kind of a program that they have in Germany where they've got, I think it's like a way to celebrate friendly local game stores. So it gets sold exclusively through game stores first before a wide release. And every year they do one, and this happens to be this year's.
Got it.
I think it says what last year's was, but I don't remember offhand.
Yeah, I don't care. So, next one.
Pause up, baby!
You'll never guess the designer. It's Reiner Knizia again.
I have to say, I'm sorry. I don't know
You
anything.
all that white space and you didn't put a picture of Reiner Knizia in it?
Well, I mean, I don't know. I don't want to be slavish in my devotion.
Pause
up!
This one, I hate to say it, but that cover is
Adorbs.
horrendous.
Adorbs. Look, that puppy definitely is stealing your soul as we speak. If we stay on this slide for another 5 seconds, we're all going to be lifeless husks.
Anyway, you are pet influencers.
Of course
who
you
try
are.
to
Wait. Hold up. No, you don't just fly past that. We're pet
Let me finish the
influencers?
sentence. You're pet influencers who try to collect the most paws with their photos and stories. I hate it. I hate
Look,
that
and
theme
people
so
say
much.
that Knizia is themeless.
All right.
It might be a good game. I don't know.
I don't have a lot of high hopes for that one, though.
All right.
Pinatas, on the other hand.
This is from All Play, right? And they're reprinting here.
Wait, we have this one, right?
This is Voodoo Prince.
Yeah, this is Voodoo Prince, which is also reprinted as Marshmallow Test.
With some changes. They went to the Voodoo. I think they stuck with the Voodoo Prince.
And then they
rules.
went to this reprint is of the Voodoo Prince original. It's been out for a while.
Yes.
Don't we have this one?
I don't know. I don't think I've seen this
However,
cover, but maybe it is here. I don't know.
I don't think it's out yet for early stuff.
I've seen the artwork for the cards in this game, and
great.
it's really great.
It's great. And also, to be fair, Voodoo Prince was never printed in the United States.
Right.
So this will be the first time.
I know that Chris was a fan, or is a fan, I should say, of Marshmallow Test, so I haven't played that, but I'm curious to try this.
I've played both. I slightly prefer Voodoo Prince, but
this is that.
This is that. But I think they may even give you the option to play both rule sets. I'm not sure.
That would be an embarrassment of riches.
Mm-hmm.
Jumping to a very different kind of thing here, Joe. How do you pronounce his last name? Manganiello?
Joe Manganiello?
Ooh, Joe Manganiello?
Who is he?
He is Flash from the original Spider-Man.
Oh, you don't know who this? He's an
He was
actor.
married to Sofia Varga.
Oh, Sofia Vergara. Yeah.
That's that
That's
guy.
all you need to know.
Okay, you mentioned
At
Sofia
the bottom
Vergara.
of that's how I know him.
And suddenly Tom knows who it is. Oh, Sofia Vergara's
Joey's
old
like,
main squeeze.
She messaged him all the time at AGT, you know?
Yeah.
My husband, he likes to play games. He likes to play the board games, and he designed this one for Hero Quest.
I'm
Anyhow,
going to
okay.
let you do her accent.
I get away with that, okay? Don't come at
Anyway,
me.
there's a new, and basically from what I read in the press release that they sent me is that this kind of ups the complexity a little bit of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So they're actually sending this to us, and I'm gonna, and along with a copy of Hero Quest, I'm gonna play this with Jimmy and C. I've been curious how he would handle a dungeon crawl.
This is 10 quests, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the original one was 10 quests, so it's like 10 more, I think.
Okay.
Looks pretty dark, actually, compared to how...
I do wonder if it's more complex. I do wonder how much more complex.
I wonder.
know Hero Quest is pretty light, but...
It's gotta be. All right.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
This is coming Q3.
All right.
Spirits of the Wild Awakening. This is a new version of Nikkei's game Spirits of the Wild, which came out in 2018, which was part of a 2-player strategy game line that Mattel released that no one ever remembers.
Well, but that's kind of crazy, though. This is one of those games that no one cared about it until it became out of print.
Yes.
And then it started going for ridiculous prices. Like Spirits of the Wild for a while, you're spending like $60, $70 for this $20
I'm trying to
game.
remember. I know I played the electricity one. That
Voltage?
Voltage.
Yeah, that was much earlier than this, but it's in the same line technically. Yeah. Voltage was from the guy who did the Ghost Fighting Treasure Hunters.
Yeah.
It's Nicholas Yu?
Brian
Yu, sorry.
Yeah, no, that one, I liked that one fine. It wasn't great,
it was
but
okay.
It was solid. This one I don't think I played.
I never played it. I know I
think you
didn't.
reviewed it.
Well, that seems reasonable.
I think you might have.
It's very possible.
I never played it, but yeah, it was one of those games that got more, people became more interested in it after you couldn't get it anymore.
Yeah, for sure. And that happens,
it does.
sleeper hit a little bit.
And so I think it's smart to, put out a new version.
Good,
so
I'm not stupid.
You did
I have
not
not
review it.
played
Okay.
it or ranked it or reviewed
All right,
it.
Tom gives it a 10.
I've heard good things. I've heard a lot of good things.
I have
and
too.
again, before now, because I kind of also came to it, or found out about it, I should say, after it had come and gone.
I do like that little fox figurine.
Yeah, you like?
Yeah.
Oh, Joey played.
Yeah.
Hey,
All right.
No one cares, Joey.
Best game ever.
No one cares,
Trying to
Joey.
run a show here.
Wow. Joey gives it a 4.
All right. Manila.
Hey, 2 new cities.
In the
new
Stefenfeld City Collection?
In the Stefenfeld universe.
The
we have
Stefenverse.
Right. So these are 2 new cities that have been created,
Yes,
right?
okay.
This is the magical city of Manila, right? Obviously not a real city.
But this one is my favorite, okay? Because this
Okay.
one is number 11 in the
yeah,
series.
Amerigo
Yeah.
was
This
pretty
is
good.
based on Amerigo, which is published by the same company. They changed the name of their own game.
Yes.
Yeah. What are you going to put? Amerigo's not a city, Tom. They are slavishly devoted to the city
But
collection.
I understood. I thought it was stupid that they changed the name because other companies that publish Bruges should have changed Bruges to a different one.
Right.
They're changing the name of their own game. You might go to a store and see both of them on the shelf and think they're 2 different games.
And they are, technically speaking.
What they should have done is just made up a new city and
How are people supporting this?
just call it Amerigo City.
Amerigo City. I
Right?
like that.
Now you got a new city.
Wow. Okay.
Amerigo's an okay game. I thought it was okay.
I thought it was like a 7 for me. Actually, I enjoyed it a bit, but it was like a bear to set up. It was really a huge table hog. Had this big cube tower.
Well, the Cube Tower is cool. But
It was cool, but yeah, it was a relatively simple game for as big and as much.
Well, the box
I've
is
not
smaller
played
now.
Amerigo, but I'm excited for City Collection number 12.
I am too.
I
right, let's
am. I'm
get to
more
12. I know
you
excited
are.
for that.
All right, Beijing.
Yes.
This is the punch in the gut.
This
game.
is a reimplementation of In the Year of the Dragon.
Yeah.
Yes. And they should have called it In the Year of the Dragon City.
So,
According to
if
Mike.
you want to feel bad
Yeah.
about yourself,
Yes.
do.
this is the kind of game
Go to
you play.
Beijing, huh?
Go.
Yeah, In the Year of the Dragon is sort of infamous for being a very punishing game.
It really is. Yeah.
They're saying they've reworked this game. I don't know if that means it's nicer or meaner. I have no idea.
I bet it's nicer.
But it's been a while. Stefenfeld has designed a lot of games.
Yes.
Since In the Year of the Dragon.
Yeah.
So I'm actually excited for this.
Right.
No joke. I'm looking forward to this
I
reimplementation.
still feel like in the library I should just have stickers on it, also known as.
I know. It's
AKA.
just
Yeah, In the Year of the Dragon doesn't feel like any of Feld's other games. Like in his early kind of gaming
not really.
things,
It's got a little Notre Dame, and that's about
a
it.
little bit, and then he had what was the card game where you had like the rows, the columns of the cards under the thing. Like I don't know, it was a 2-player game.
Roma? What are you talking about?
Maybe I'm talking about Roma. Like his early games felt a little different than
I
what
agree.
you get
No,
now.
I agree they didn't.
Yeah.
And then they became a little more mechanism soupy.
Right.
That's
But
right. There's also a game already called Manila, which is a great game.
Manila's that great bidding game
Yeah.
which you're looking
Yeah,
at.
yeah,
Queen
yeah. No.
City like
It's like, look, there are only what we got at least 12. There's like maybe 20 cities in the country,
there
or
was
in
like
the world.
20. No, but they did announce there was up to 20, right? They're gonna.
Well,
keep
I remember
going.
I saw a poster at Essen. It was hilarious. I mean, I guffawed because it was the first like 8 or so that were announced.
Yeah.
They had a few more that had names. and then like unannounced, and they just kind of kept going. Like the banner had 2 rows, and they went up to way more than 20-some. I mean, it was very funny, and it was very long. They had a plan that would take them into next century.
I think you're probably right. I think it's in perpetuity is this contract.
All right. Well, that's the note we're ending on here. Hey, but if you thought that news was not that exciting, seriously, and if you missed the mega game announcements on Tuesday, go back and watch that.
Yes.
A lot of really cool games coming. And look, I mean, I give the trick taking and these little card games maybe some short shrift, but I'm glad to see lots of games are coming out. The death of the hobby has been greatly exaggerated.
Right. And
lots of games are coming.
That's true. And what's nice about those is that for the most part, they're relatively inexpensive. You know what I mean? They're more accessible than a lot of these big games.
Absolutely.
All right, so there you have it, folks. We'll see you in just half an hour as we play Lightning Train as we continue the Summer Spectacular. Until then, I'm Tom Vassell.
I'm Z Garcia.
I'm Mike DeLisio.
Until Queen changes his name.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching this video. Check out our channel, Dice Tower. We have all kinds of things. We review games, we do top 10s, we play games live. It's all about board games, but especially the people who play them. Check out Dice Tower YouTube channel.